Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and we've already seen that the big bad event of the US Federal Reserve on Wednesday, that's September 18, has kick-started its first interest rate cut cycle in more than 4 years, reducing the benchmark lending rates by 50 basis points in a bid to counter a potential slowdown in the labor market amid weakening signs of inflation and job growth. The FOMC has also signaled additional reductions in its dot plot, a chart of individual officials' rate projections suggesting another 50 basis point cut by December. Now, something that also aligns with the market expectation, and this is the key trigger basis which the stock markets in India will also be trading today. Intraday, both the Nifty and the Sensex yesterday rose by as much as 0.3% to hit their all-time high levels, 25,482 on the Nifty, 83,326 on the Sensex respectively. However, they snapped the two sessions of gains and ended lower. That was amid a lot of caution that we actually saw across the board, especially in the IT stocks, which did feel a drubbing yesterday. Over 3.5% cuts were seen in the markets. Now, we also will have to see how the 50 basis points rate cut really lifted the mood in the US. The Wall Street yesterday, the S&P 500 added about 0.8%, Dow Jones Industrial Average, that also jumped by 350 points. The Nasdaq Composite rose by 1% right after the rate cut. But these benchmark indices on the Wall Street also ended the session lower after the Dow Jones and the S&P both hit their own respective highs as well. This could be because the markets are viewing the meeting with some hawkish skepticism. The Fed also expects two more 25 basis points cut this year, but the raised unemployment forecast for 2024, 2025 and 2026, there is a fear that if the labor market softens meaningfully and the Fed rate cuts just by 25 basis points each, that could not be enough, as far as curbing or, surging the growth is concerned. Now, Pavel has also said that the FOMC is really not in a rush and that 50 basis points is not the new pace at which the rate cuts will happen. So, all of this is something that we will have to continue to watch out for again. Now, apart from this, when we also look at the kind of movement we also saw on the commodity space, so the Brent crude oil was down by about 1% to $72.9 a barrel. Gold climbed to a record high of $2,600 a barrel an ounce, but it paired back to $2,550 an ounce as well. Markets in the Asia Pacific region, they were being led higher by the Japan's index, the Nikkei 225, and also the topics as well. Nikkei is the best performing Asia market in the early morning trading action. Kospi slipped about 0.9%, Hang Seng also flattish in trade, and the Shanghai Composite about 0.5% lower. The GIFT Nifty is indicating a start above 25,400. That's about a 0.2% of an uptick that we can actually expect today. But let's welcome our guest on the show to help us understand more about what can we expect in the markets today. Mr. Devin Choksi, the MD of DR Choksi Finserv Private Limited, is with us. Warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you so much for taking the time out. The big bang event that we all had been waiting for is done and dusted. But the reaction in the Wall Street, how would you explain that, and what kind of an impact do you see for Indian markets, sir? Do you think this 50 basis points cut is also largely priced in?
Yes, Sakshi. Good morning. Well, I think the first indication which is coming up very clearly that this reduction in the rate of interest would mean that the Fed is equally interested not only in fighting the inflation but also in reviving the economy. Uh, we are running a threat of getting into a severe recession if this particular high cost structure, high interest rate structure continues. Interest rate is a very big component for bringing down the cost structure and so the inflation. And as a result of which, I think the demand generation activity, which up till now I think has taken a backseat post-COVID in the global market, particularly in the Western markets. I think that part is now getting addressed with the cut in the interest rate. In my viewpoint, I think they are little delayed by at least 2 quarters. I think they could have done it, I think, little ahead of time. But generally, the economists would like to drive it by using the rear view mirror. I think they don't look into the front. That's a part. I think the overall environment remains quite conducive now. In the capital market also, the promises are more about the spending, the consumption, and because of the fall in the interest rate, and it is likely to continue for next 6 quarters, as I understand. So obviously, I think if we are talking about 2% fall in the rate of interest, it is going to happen over next 6 to 8 quarters. And that's where probably I think one will keep complete eye on how the consumption evolves here after. But I think the open opportunity size is going big. India market is likely to attract a lot of new money because with the cost of fund coming down over there, the money will shift out to markets, emerging markets, equities particularly, and that's where we are likely to see the flush, new force of money which is going to come into our system. One should remain cautiously optimistic on all these possibilities.
Right. Mr. Choksi, how do you anticipate the behavior of FIIs now to change with this rate cut cycle now starting? And this is not just it. We do know that there are going to be several rate cuts which are going to be following as well. Two in this year, or one of 50 basis points this year, and then again a 50 basis points or 100 basis points next year as well. So that's the kind of trajectory we are expecting. Are these Indian markets going to be getting favorable, traction as far as the FII flows are concerned, sir?
Absolutely. The amount of money which is expected to come from the traders' portfolio into the equity and emerging market equity, to the use of index funds, to the use of ETFs, I think that allocation is going to increase. And that money could possibly drive the frontliners in our market. Generally, the market is represented by the index, and index heavyweights are going to be the beneficiary of this surge in the flow which is expected to come. So, in my viewpoint, I think if we have seen up till now last 2 years of rally in mid cap and small cap, we are likely to see a big time rally into the large caps going forward. So, obviously, I think we would remain positive on these possibilities.
Okay, so now, which are the sectors that you believe will be important for traders to look at? We did see the lending space come back in full flavor all across the last 3 or 4 days odd. The Nifty Bank has been a clear outperformer. Do you see the lenders continue to be in the spotlight, and this is the space that one should be really looking at for opportunities, sir?
Fortunately, I think the lenders are putting at a price to book value, which is extremely attractive. In my viewpoint, I think when you are talking about economic growth and when the lenders are not expensively traded, that is a good sign because I think the lenders are now basically talking about expanding the size of the book. And as I always say, the big is getting bigger. As far as I think the banking business is concerned, this is absolutely true for them. This particular situation is demanding that some of the stronger balance sheets will have lines going forward because on one side the country is spending on the infrastructure, industry is spending on catching up with the infrastructure spending, and consumer oriented companies are catching up with I think the consumer demand which is rising. So both discretionary and non-discretionary consumer demand is basically being satisfied by way of I think the service industries, the industries which are in the manufacturing catering to consumers. So all three areas are I think systematically being growing in our economy. Along with that, the agricultural investment which the government has spelled out. So I think all the components of the economy they are actually I think on fire as far as I think the growth is concerned. So in my viewpoint, I think this is going to create an extraordinary situation for overall market conditions going forward. Maybe one will have to remain a little cautious on the exuberance, but otherwise, I think this remains an extraordinary situation that we are entering into.
Okay. Devin, do you still have any key ideas that you pulled out in the recent times, any newer stocks that still hold value, even in this current market, that one can go ahead and grab the opportunity to maybe slowly and gradually, but start accumulating some of the stocks? What would you advise, sir?
So fortunately, I think our horizon, our picks have been systematically created even before this situation happened. So that is not changing. On the contrary, we believe that I think having picked up earlier and still getting an opportunity to buy into some of the large cap companies which are constituents of Nifty 50, I guess I think this is going to be an extraordinary time for them. Commodity companies probably I think would demand an immediate attention because on one side crude oil prices are down, energy cost is down, metal cost is going down, interest cost is going down. So entire cost structure is going down for the commodity companies, and this is likely to remain so for a longer period of time, given the kind of trust that they have on the renewables or the energy cost. So from a perspective of looking at, I think some cyclical stocks, one could argue for buying into the metal commodity, and one could argue for buying into some of the chemical commodity stocks, which are looking reasonably confident from here on for the growth prospects.
Hmm. Let's also quickly welcome our other guest also joining in on board, Aditya Agarwal, head of derivatives and technicals at Sanctum Wealth. Warm welcome to you, Aditya. Good to have you with us. Two stock ideas that you will be going with. We already have the pre-open rate on the Nifty 25,443. That is a 67 point of an uptake. A positive start is what is getting indicated in the pre-opening trade. How would you look at the markets and two stock ideas? We can't hear you, Aditya. Are you on mute by any chance? Yeah.
Sorry. Morning, Sakshi. Well, if we see Nifty is stuck in a range for the last three, four trading sessions. Means on the higher side, we have seen aggressive call lighting at 25,500 strike option. So that is acting as an immediate resistance zone. But if we see overall larger degree view, markets are still positive. I mean, there is no sign of concerns as far as charts are concerned or as far as data is concerned. So I think that the consolidation which we are seeing for last three, 4 days, it will break out. We will see a breakout very soon on the higher side. And once Nifty breaks 25,500, we can see a sharp short-coming move also, which can take Nifty towards 25,640 to 25,700 levels. So structure-wise, we are bullish on market. Now, if we see sectoral side also, banking, which was not participating at all, now for last 6, 7 days, we are seeing participation from banking, and Bank Nifty is outperforming Nifty. So we are expecting that Bank Nifty may make a new high in the next couple of trading sessions. So banking is one sector which we are bullish. So one of the stock which we have picked is from banking space only. That will be IndusInd Bank. Means if we see IndusInd Bank, this stock was trading in a range for last couple of days at lower level. Stock has made a good base, and now we have seen a breakout. So we are expecting that this stock may move towards 1535, 1540. At current levels, it's a good level to enter with a stop loss of 1440. Another stock will be Aditya Birla Fashions. Means ABFRL was also trading in a range for last couple of days. We have seen a breakout last week, and now we are seeing a follow-up buying. So I'm expecting that ABFRL on higher side can move towards 350, 355. At current levels, also it can be bought with a stop loss of 327.
Okay, got it. We'll keep an eye out on both these stock ideas. Let's go back to discussion with Mr. Choksi now. Devin sir, another space is the IT space. The way it got the drubbing yesterday, 3.5%, 4% lower on an intraday levels as well. How are you looking at the IT story unfold from here on now that we have the rate cut starting?
Fortunately, I think with the cut in the interest rate, the availability of funds for the corporate would be, I think, far more better at a competitive cost. And that's what is the argument in favor of spending increasing in favor of IT solutions by most of the global majors. There is no choice. I think it's imperative that they will be spending huge amount of money on building the entire IT-based infrastructure. The world has already evolved from coding to computing, and that part is definitely going to be taken care of. The next generation of growth, which is going to come into IT. Today, as I see it, I think most of the IT companies are working in the direction of providing the last mile solution.
Yeah.
Today, the situation is that not only the software as a service, but the platform as a service kind of a model is being provided by the IT companies globally. And at the same time, through the use of AI, various tools, I think they are creating for the purpose of attracting the different user class, different user industries, so that I think they can online write the code and probably start operating their business environment faster. So I see a hidden possibilities for our Indian companies, particularly those ones which are in engineering R&D space, those who are basically providing the embedded softwares along with the chips, I think, which are now going semiconductor chips, which are now going into each and every devices. I guess I think that time is becoming much interesting for those mid-tier IT companies of India, where they have got relatively better surety about the business condition, at least for next 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Devin sir, there is another news that's coming in by way of newer IPOs coming in. NTPC is going to be looking at its green subsidiary, looking to raise 10,000 odd crore rupees via the IPO going forward. The DRHP has been filed. What kind of opportunity do you think the green energy space is going to be creating for investors in the long term? And what are players like NTPC and NTPC Green going to be doing with that respect, sir?
Yeah, I think extremely important. I think majority of these infrastructure companies, they are into the business of providing the renewable energy solutions, be it green hydrogen included. I think for them, the roadmap ahead is absolutely very clear. This is not 1 or 2 year story. This is not going to be the IPOs which are going to be for flipping purpose. These IPOs are likely to be for the purpose of staying invested for a long, long period of time. In fact, the likes of insurance companies, likes of pension companies, sovereign funds included, they are the ones I think who are likely to seize this kind of opportunities. I think to buy into some of the large quality papers. Individual retail investors will really require to have a lot of patience to buy into some good quality companies and stay invested for a span of 5 to 10 years.
Okay, but are there still spaces that one needs to be very cautious about, Devin sir, in this current market setup? Because we are at all-time high levels as well. At this point in time, one really gets worried whether one should be fully or aggressively invested, or one should be really keeping some cash handy. How are you really advising the investors at this point in time?
So across the board, market correction is ruled out. But individual stocks market correction is a distinct possibility. I think that is one word, one line understanding that we carry. What we believe that I think whenever you find exuberance, I think an irrational exuberance particularly, at that time I think you should have your eyes and ears open, and I think you should be remaining a little bit more cautious than what you are currently. Because I think the irrational exuberance do not sustain, it cannot survive for a longer period of time. Most of the businesses they do speak out very clearly that any business condition favorable to them, for them the more important task today is creating a sustainability, and for that sustainability to happen, don't expect dramatic results, don't expect year over year quantum growth which is far more outperforming the growth of the economy. If economy is growing at 11 to 12%, and if the company is growing at 15 to 20% or 18 to 20% in this kind of situations, I think one should be extremely happy if it is sustaining that kind of a growth. But if you are talking about 50% year on year growth, trust me, I think that story will not last for more than 2 years in many companies' cases.
Okay, well, on that note, thank you so much, Devin sir, for sparing your
Thank you.
time with us and sharing such wonderful pearls of wisdom with all our viewers, like you always do. It's always a great time when we have you on air, sir. So, thank you so much. Truly appreciate your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
All right. With that, we will viewers continue to focus on the markets now. They've settled in the pre-open trade 109 points higher. This is at 25,487. This is the new high, ladies and gentlemen, as far as the Nifty is concerned. So congratulations yet again. In case we open at this tick, you could be looking at a record level again in front of you. The Nifty bank about 0.3% higher in trade. All the sectoral indices are indicating that there could be a positive opening in the markets today. So that is something that we are looking at as well. But this is only an indication. We'll really have to see what really follows through as well. Some of the stocks, let me highlight, which are in news and are actually buzzing in trade. Let's look at GRSC from the defense space. A lot of people will be happy because defense space has been, reeling under a long consolidation and a deeper pain coming in. Garden Reach has come back again at 5.5%. This is after the warship maker has said it's received a $54 million order for construction and delivery of 4 additional multi-purpose vehicles from Germany. And this is to be designing the vessels and to be delivered over a period of 33 odd months. Let's get Aditya to talk about it. Tell me, how is your positioning as far as the defense stocks are concerned, sir? And also, what would you do on GRSC today?
Well, if we see most of the PSU defensive stocks, they have already seen a good correction in last few trading weeks, in fact, and now they are consolidating. But still, they have not given a sign of a pullback. Yeah, Garden Reach, we are seeing a pullback because of the news which it is there. But if we see a larger degree chart, I think it will still consolidate in a range of 1700 to 1900. So at after today's gap up opening of 5.5%, I don't think so that traders should chase the stock. Let the stock cool off a little bit. If it comes in the zone of 1760, 1770, there they can enter into new position with a stop loss placed around 1720. But yes, again, on higher side, targets are not very big. 1860, 1870 will be the upper side of this stock. More or less, if we see this stock, again, it means most of the defensive, be it HJL or Garden Reach, they are not giving a very good feeling as of now. I think they will continue to consolidate with little bit of negative biasness.
Okay, got it. Let's pull up NTPC, please. That's the very important stock to be considered today. Let's see how it has settled in the pre-open trade. NTPC, remember, the company will be in focus because it's decided to list its renewable and green energy subsidiary NTPC Green now, 2.3% higher at 424. This is to raise nearly 10,000 crore rupees, and the draft papers have been filed with SEBI as well. Now, tell us, Aditya, this is something that everybody was anticipating that this will come. It's come in now. Papers have been filed. How will you look at NTPC now? Should one start to look at grabbing NTPC shares incrementally till the time more details emerge when the IPO will come in?
Well, yes, means structure-wise, if we see NTPC is looking quite positive, means after big rally, it was in the consolidation zone between 390 to 420, 425. But today's stock is opening above its resistance zone of 420. So I'm expecting that 455, 460 will be the immediate target. So today also means if someone gets in the range of 420, 424 levels, it's a good level to enter into long position with slightly positional perspective. On higher side, 455 to 460 will be the immediate target for the stock.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as NTPC is concerned. Let's also get you to talk about IRIDA because IRIDA is in focus again. Let's pull up the stock to see how it has settled in the pre-opening trades. We are still about 4 minutes away from the markets to open. IRIDA has got a fundraising nod from the government. Remember, constantly the management has been talking about that they really need funds to expand. On our channel also, they've come multiple times to talk about it. Now, the company has received a go-ahead to dilute 7% stake to raise up to 4,500 crores via QIP. The stake dilution may be undertaken in one or more tranches, and the decision has been taken by DIPAM. 3.3% higher for IRIDA right now in the pre-opening trade. What is it that you expect here now?
Well, not a very big upside, at least in the short-term perspective. Means on higher side, 240, 245 will be a very strong resistance zone. Because of this QIP issue, we can see a positive traction in the counter. But again, means it is also looking slightly sideways as other PSU stocks are looking. On higher side, yes, stock has found a strong support around 225. It is trading around those levels, consolidating around those levels. But if you see in the near term, I am not expecting a very big upside. Around 245, 250, this rally should fizzle out, and again the stock will go in consolidation zone. So I don't think so that after today's gap up opening, one should chase this stock, at least from the short term perspective.
Okay, got it. Let's again look at what is working. Okay, on the Nifty, you see NTPC, which is settled 2.3% higher as the top mover on the Nifty. You also have the IT stocks coming back. The Nifty IT is poised to open higher, viewers, about 1% higher. 2 minutes to go before the markets open. LTI, Mindtree, Wipro, HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, these are all lined up to open in the positive zone and among the top movers on the Nifty today. Let's get Aditya to talk about the IT stocks and what should be investors positioning here, Aditya.
Well, we are quite bullish on IT counters. Means yesterday we saw a correction in the whole sector, but if we see IT index, it found strong support around 41,800, 42,000 levels, and from those levels again today we are seeing a gap up opening. So if we are looking for a positional perspective, looking very positive. In fact, from short term perspective also, IT counters is one of the best bet right now. So overall, we are bullish on IT stocks, be it mid cap IT or large cap IT. If you see stocks like Coforge or stocks like LTI, Mindtree or emphasis, all these stocks are looking good, and we can easily see 5 to 10% move in these counters in next couple of trading weeks. So on IT sector per se, we are bullish. In fact, in Nifty IT, we are expecting that it is moving towards 45,000 to 45,500 levels.
Okay, got it. We are just about 30 seconds away from the markets to open, viewers, and we are looking for that tick to come in. Remember, IT is something that we will be watching out for. Look at BL Kashyap. It's bagged a new order worth 221 crores. That could be opening in the green. Iron Exchange could be opening in the green. It's bagged a contract worth 161 crores from Adani Power. The liquor space again will be in focus today because of the Andhra Pradesh government approving new excise policy right there. Remember, this entire space could be in focus. We're just waiting for that opening tick now to come in. Yes, we do have the opening rates 25,492. We also have a 25,504 in the intraday levels. Congratulations, viewers. This is what we have, 25,500 for the very first time on the Nifty, and it is a record high. 0.5% uptick coming in right after that US Fed's rate cut happening overnight, and the markets cheering across Asia, and that was already indicative of a positive opening in the Indian markets, and that's how exactly it has taken shape. 53,012 for the Nifty Bank as well. 0.5% uptick you can see on the Nifty Bank. The markets are soaring higher. 150 points higher now for the Nifty. 25,525. Let's look at the top contributors right now. IT and IT all the way. 1.7% higher for the IT index. A whole host of sectors that are stocks that are contributing. LTI Mindtree up 2.7%. Wipro up 1.6%. HCL Technologies up 0.77%. Tech Mahindra about 1.5% higher in trade. It's IT all the way, and that is how it is shaping up. Realty, all the sectors of the Nifty are opening into the green. Realty follows. Small cap 100 index by 0.8% as well. That's the kind of move that we are seeing. Let's pull up NTPC. That's the stock that we need to watch out for today. Almost 2% higher for the stock right ahead, right after the DRHP papers have been filed for its subsidiary NTPC Green right there. TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech, all three heavyweights contributing to the Nifty gains right now. Coal India is pulling up. Grasim up by 1%. Bajaj Finance also pulling up in trade among the top heavyweight counters within the Nifty as well. Let's look at the banking gainers. AU Small Finance Bank, Bank of Baroda, IDFC First Bank. These are the counters that are pulling up almost 1% higher in trade. ICICI Bank up 0.1% as well. Let's look at HDFC as well. 0.5% increase for SBI too in trade today. So the banking counters also in fine fettle at this morning trade. Real estate space is buzzing in trade. That's the space that's taking it away now. 1.5% higher for the Nifty Realty Index. Let's look at the counters that are surging here in the real estate space as well. So we have Prestige Estates, Suntech Realty, Macrotech Developers, Phoenix Mills, all of them up by over 1.5% odd. The mid and the small caps are also doing very well. So it's a broad-based rally that you're seeing. Let us look at the broader markets, the NSE 500, any key stocks right there which are surging sharply higher in the morning trade in right at the opening. Nandan Denim is opening 8% higher in trade. The Reliance Infra stock after yesterday's sharp move is up by 5.9%. Then you also have Vakrangi. Remember, we had tracked this stock yesterday. It continues to move up higher. 5% another uptick over here. Let's look at the liquor space. Tilak Nagar Industries is opening 5% higher as well. Some of the other stocks that are actually doing well. Let's pull up Brain Bee Solutions. That's First Cry. Remember, recently listed company, 7% higher in trade for First Cry IPO or recently listed IPO. All the liquor space stocks, Allied Blenders, United Breweries, all of them up in trade today. Sensex, it's a record high. It's crossed the earlier level of 83,326 now. That's the kind of move that you're seeing. IT all the way. Let's look at Aditya to see what will you take as the morning trade right now. 177 points higher for the Nifty. It's soaring for a further up.
Well, it means already means market has opened with a big gap up. So I think one should not chase right now. Means the risk reward ratio will clearly is not in favor of Nifty buyers, at least at current levels. So let the market cool down a little bit. Let Nifty come towards 25,450. See, our overall view is positive, but buying at current levels will not give you a good risk reward ratio. If Nifty corrects by 100 points from these levels, around those levels one can buy with target of 25,650 to 25,700.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of move. Tilak Nagar Industries is really moving up very sharply. Radico Khaitan another 2.5%. Let's get you to talk about this Alco Bev space, Aditya. GM Breweries also up 2.5%. The entire space is buzzing. What will you do here within the liquor space? Anything that you will chase?
Well, means if we see UBL, United Breweries, this stock is looking quite positive. Means for last few days we are seeing a good uptick in this counter. Last 2 days some profit booking was there, but overall structure is positive. Stock found strong support on its 50 days moving average, which was somewhere around 2020 levels. So I'm expecting this stock is moving towards 2200, 250 levels. So risk reward ratio is clearly in favor of buyers at current levels in UBL. At current levels also one can buy with a stop loss of 2050 and target will be 2250 level.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of move that we are seeing. All right, let's look at some of the other counters. Okay, on the IT space, Aditya, which is the counter that you will carry on for momentum? The entire space is up and about.
Means overall we are quite positive on the whole IT pack. But if I have to choose one stock, then it will be L&T Mindtree. Means this stock means yesterday it was it corrected least, and today we are seeing a good pullback in this stock. The stock is giving a good breakout after after consolidating quite a few couple of weeks, couple of months. So I'm expecting that if someone is slightly positional in nature, then they can buy at current levels also with target of 6900 to 7200. So we can easily see some 8 to 10% upside in from slightly positional perspective. But yes, if someone is looking for short-term targets, then my target will be 6680.
Okay, got it. Info Edge is buzzing in the FNO space. It's now 5% higher in trade at 8138. Let's also pull up Zomato. We've also seen Zomato and Info Edge almost moving parallelly in the last few weeks of trade as well. Remember, Info Edge has a stake in Zomato, and Zomato is also opening about 0.8% higher, 278 right now. Info Edge first for you. Within the FNO space, it's buzzing. What will you do here?
Well, again, means this stock is in bull phase. Means we are any dip in this stock is being used to accumulate long position. Last 2 days again some profit booking was there, but today we have seen a big gap up in this stock. So structure wise quite positive. It is moving towards 8450 to 8600 levels. So again in this stock also, if there is some dip, it comes in the range of 7900, 7920. One can keep on accumulating this stock with a stop loss of 7780. Positional target will be 8480 to 8500 levels. And similarly, we see its structure-wise, Zomato is good. It is just in some consolidation phase. If it breaks this 280, 84 levels, which is a resistance zone, it can move towards 310 to 320 levels also.
Okay, Tata Motors is pulling up 1.4% higher at 975 right now. The auto index itself is about 0.7 higher in trade. There was a brokerage house report by HSBC. They have a buy call on Bajaj Auto. Target they have raised to 14,000 levels from 11,000 earlier. They have a hold call on TVS. They've raised the target price to 2,800 here. And they believe there is a sustained traction for CNG, E2-wheelers, Africa exports, and that drives their preference for Bajaj over TVS. That's what they have said. Let's get in Aditya to talk about, the auto space entirely. How are you really looking at Tata Motors? How are you looking at Bajaj Auto?
Well, if we see Tata Motors, the stock has seen a decent correction from 1150, 1160 odd levels to 950. And 950, 960 is a very strong support zone. The stock has a 200 days moving average, and that is a previously strong support zone for counter. So we can expect some pullback in Tata Motors. The stock may again move towards 1000, 1020. So we can see some 40 to 50 rupees upside in Tata Motors from these levels. So clearly, this is not a stock to short at current levels. We can see a good pullback from these levels with a stop loss of 960. One can in fact buy Tata Motors with target of 1010 to 1020. So structure for short term looks positive. Bajaj Auto, if we see this again, this stock is in a bull phase. Means again in this counter also any decline is used as a buying opportunity. But means from current levels, I will avoid this stock. The stock has already seen a big rally in last 2 weeks from 10,500 to 11,800, 11,900. So again, I will wait for some time, wait for some dip in Bajaj Auto to enter into long position. But yes, Tata Motors is a good bet from auto space to enter.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as the auto space is concerned. Remember, the Nifty Bank is something we need to focus on. It's now about 75 points away from its all-time high levels. The Nifty is at an all-time high level, viewers. We also almost hit the 200 mark or double century in trade today, and we've come off 25,587 is what we hit, and we've come off slightly from that peak in trade today. The Nifty Bank's all-time high is 53,357, so a 75 point away is what we are right now. Aditya, banking space, where will you keep your focus?
Means we are bullish on banking, at least from the short-term perspective. And I'm expecting that Bank Nifty is going to break this previous all-time high. And once it's settled above 53,400, then we can see a big move towards 55,000 to 55,500 also. It will take some time, but yes, means overall perspective from banking looks positive, at least from short to medium term. Among that, also private sector banks are looking good. Like we have already given a buy call in IndusInd Bank, in which we are expecting target of 1540, 1560 in short term. Axis Bank is a good means stock to enter. After good consolidation, we have seen a breakout in this counter, and from those levels, continuously we are seeing fresh long position getting built up. Axis Bank is the one stock which can move towards 1300, 1320 levels. So both means private sector banks are looking particularly better as compared to PSU banks. And if we have to see PSU banks, and SBI is one stock which is showing some sign of positive traction. It has some minor resistance around 800. If it breaks 800, then it is moving towards 835 to 840. So, like right now, I would go with more of private sector bank, and among PSU banks, SBI will be top pick.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as the banking space is concerned. Let's get you to talk about the financial services, which is the hottest space which we are finding right now. Again, especially when we talk about the home financing space, especially which got into traction with Bajaj Housing IPO coming in, and the broking space also. We'll cater to two of these aspects now. Let's first talk about the housing finance space. Where are you really looking at traction? At this point in time, we have been seeing a whole host of stocks like LIC Housing, Chola Mandalam, Repco Home Financing, Awas Housing Finance, all of them in focus, Aadhar Housing as well. What will you really look at?
Well, means among whole housing finance, PNB housing will be our top pick. Means this stock has seen a big move from 750, 800 odd levels to 1200. And in last 3, 4 days, we have seen some correction in the counter from higher level stock has corrected by 10 to 15%. But structure wise, stock is quite positive. Means we are seeing, means we are expecting that it is again moving towards 1200 to 1240 levels. So clearly from current levels, this reward ratio is in favor of buyers with a stop loss of 1045. One can initiate long position at current levels also with target of 1200 to 1240.
Okay, and now let's also talk about this, insurance space as well. ICICI Pru, I see 1.5% higher. HDFC Life is pulling up as well, 0.6% up in trade. How are you really looking at the insurance space? Like ICICI Lombard is also up in trade today. What looks positive here?
Well, means if I have to go among insurance space, then ICICI Lombard will be the top pick. Means means stock has corrected from 2300 levels to 2050, and now it is showing a positive traction. So I'm expecting it is again moving towards its previous highs of 2250, 2300 levels. ICICI Pru and HDFC Life are still stuck in a range. They are not giving that kind of positive traction which we are seeing in ICICI Lombard. So ICICI Lombard will be our top pick from ICICI, from insurance space with target of 2250 to 2300 levels.
Okay, got it. There is one counter that I want to pull up, viewers, and that is Bombay Stock Exchange. Let's look at the counter. This was the counter that we were tracking and harping about all day yesterday, and of course this entire week thus far. Remember, this week entirely, the stock has already rallied about 32%. Today, it's a down day, 3.4% lower at 37.45. Remember, this was also in the buzz because the NSE IPO may be coming in. As well, and the NSE IPO is something which is being seen as a trigger for the entire space, BSE and CDSL, the rest of the broking space as well. Aditya, tell me, how are you looking at the Bombay Stock Exchange stock?
Well, structure is positive, but after the move of 30% in last 4 trading sessions, is definitely not a fresh buy. Yes, if someone is holding, they can continue to hold. Means on higher side, it can move towards 4,000, 4,200 levels. But means to enter into fresh long positions, I would wait for some correction towards 3450, 3400 levels. That is the ideal level to enter for long position. But means fresh entry is, I would not recommend at current levels.
Okay, got it. And what about the other broking stocks? Where would you be looking at for continuous momentum even now?
Well, I mean, Angel one looks positive. Means stock is trading near its resistance zone, which is 2,700, 2,720. But structure-wise, stock is positive. It has a it found strong support around its 50 days moving average, and from those levels, we have seen a pullback. So I'm expecting that slightly positional perspective, it is moving towards 3,000 to 3,200 levels. So means more or less means if we see most of the broking stocks, they are trading in a range, but yes, with little bit of positive biasness. So Angel one will be our top pick.
Angel one will be your topic right there. Okay, let's see what else is buzzing in trade. Okay, I see some of the metal counters also moving. Hindustan Copper is among the top movers in the FNO space as well. We already talked about Info Edge. United Breweries is moving within the liquor space as well. We're also looking at the IT stocks persistent. Also, we have Birla Soft, and then you also have stocks like L&T Finance and Coforge also buzzing in trade. Let's get you to talk about some more exciting spaces. Alkyl amines is now pulling up 5% higher in trade. You know, this chemicals and the fertilizer space is also interesting. Let's get you to talk about that as well. Where are you looking for traction in the chemicals and the fertilizer space? Is this story still having some steam left?
Well, if we see fertilizer space looks positive. Yesterday, I mean, the last 2 3 days, we have seen a good traction in most of the fertilizer counter. The chemical space is still not working. Means we are seeing consolidation in most of the chemical counters. But if we have to go with the fertilizer, then I would like to go with Coromandel fertilizer. Means this stock, it is trading in a range, but on lower side, it has a strong support in the zone of 1660, 1680 levels. And from those levels, we are seeing some positive traction. So I'm expecting this stock is moving towards 1840, 1880 in next few trading days. So this is one stock which can be bought at current levels. But chemicals means sector is still not performing the way we were expecting it to perform.
Yeah.
So a couple of stocks are performing, but overall sector is not performing as it was expected.
Okay, so that's as far as the chemical story is looking at right now. Let's look at the sugar basket too to see if there is any key trigger right there which is supporting the sentiments. Let's pull up Bajaj, let's pull up Balram Purchini, let's pull up Sri Renuka Andhra Sugars, Triveni Sugar as well. Let's pull up Bajaj Hindustan Sugar. The space is in bias, but no clear up, like, you know, sharp moves right there. But how are you positioned on the sugar space as of now, Aditya?
Well, if we see sugar space stock, this sector has already seen a big move in last couple of weeks, and now it is in little bit of consolidation phase. So I don't think so. This is a right time to enter into sugar space. I mean, if we see Balrampur Chini stock has already seen a big rally in last couple of weeks, and now it is consolidating in between 540 to 600, 610 levels. And similarly, if we see other sugar counters also, they have seen some profit booking from higher levels. So sugar is not a sector. It is not in limelight right now. So we can avoid sugar from current means at current levels. In fact, there are other sectors which are performing much better with their where traders can put their money.
Okay, got it, got it. So that's the view that is coming in. All right, let's get you to talk about some of the other spaces as well. Is there any other space that you find where I have not spotted where traction could be seen now onwards? Aditya?
Well, I think real estate is one sector which means which we can keep in focus. Means the real estate have seen some profit booking in last 3 4 days, but now we are again seeing some positive traction for last one. Yesterday we saw some positive move. Today we are again seeing some positive move in Godrej Properties. So this stock is in consolidation zone. I am expecting that Godrej Properties can see a big move from these levels. It is moving towards 3,200 to 3,300 levels. So we can easily see some 8 to 10% kind of up move in Godrej Properties from current levels. Similarly, we see DLF or over DLT also means they are in consolidation zone, but at lower levels, continuous buying interest is there in these counters. DLF, if it breaks 875, 880 levels, it is easily moving towards 925, 940. Similarly, we see over DLT, stock is in positive traction, means continuously we are seeing long position getting built up. So in my view, real estate is next sector which can see a positive traction, and we can easily see some 8 to 9% move in these sector in next couple of days.
Okay, got it. Real estate is something that we can definitely focus on where traction can be seen. Since you're talking about the real estate space, do you also see the ancillary spaces also garnering more traction now? Cement makers, steel, metals, is that also on your radar as well? Maybe paints as well, which was seeing some traction a while back. How would you look at these ancillaries that get benefited when the entire sector is on the move, Aditya?
If we see metal space is not looking very positive. Metals is slightly on profit booking mode. Every uptick in metals, particularly if we see steel counters, Tata Steels or SAIL, is being used as a profit booking opportunity. Yes, in metal space, Jindal Steel is one stock which is showing some positive traction, and this stock is means every dip is being used as a buying opportunity. So if we have to go metal, I would like to go with Jindal Steel rather than Tata Steel or SAIL. Jindal Steel has a potential to move towards 1080, 1100 levels. So that is one stock which can be kept in the dark. Cement, if we see, means we saw some traction a couple of days back, but again, it has gone into sideways move. But if cement, I would like to go with Ultratech Cement. I think it is moving towards 12,200 to 12,400. So among metals, Jindal Steel and Cement, Ultratech will be our top pick.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as Ultratech is concerned and will be the top counter where Aditya is focused on as well. Let's get you to also show you, okay, oil and gas has slipped into the red, viewers. Keep that in mind. That's the first sector that's slipped after the morning opening in the gains. About 1/10% lower is how it is trading. Let's look at the Nifty next 50 stocks as well. You were talking about SBI. SBI Cards is also on the move, Aditya, 2% higher in trade today. Then we also have Siemens, that's up by 1.1%. We have Avenue Supermarts, Varun Beverages, that is back in action. Tata Power, that's also zooming. Zomato, that's up by 0.8% odd or so. And some such stocks which are also on the move. Let's get you to talk about Varun Beverages. Do you still find that after the rally, the multi-bagger moves, the splits that we have seen on the stock, all kind of triggers having played out, can one still take an entry in Varun Beverages at 652, Aditya?
Means if we see overall long-term chart for Varun Beverages, stock is positive. Means after the multi-bagger move, the stock is just in the consolidation zone. It is in time-wise correction between 550 to 660, 670. This is a 120 points, odd points range in which it is trading for last couple of weeks now. So structure-wise, there is no issue with this issue with the counter. But yes, it is trading in a range. So once it breaks this range on higher side, we can expect it to move towards 775 to 800 levels also. So I think one can use this consolidation or time-wise correction to initiate long position. Any correction towards 620, 600 can be used as a buying opportunity in Varun Beverages. Initially, it will face some resistance in the zone of 680, but once that is taken out, stock is moving towards 770 to 800 levels.
Okay, got it. So that's the view that's really coming in. The other space that I wanted to ask you is also the FMCG space. We were seeing some traction come in. Stocks like ITC, Nestle, Britannia making a comeback, HUL making a comeback. The index is up by 0.6%. Do you really feel that this is the time that one should go big on shopping in the FMCG space?
Yes, means we are bullish on FMCG space. Means most of these stocks have already seen a big rally in last couple of weeks. Most of these stocks are up in the range of 10 to 20%. So we are still expecting that FMCG will continue to outperform. And means if we see FMCG, Nestle is one stock which has not performed. In fact, stock has recently given a breakout in yesterday's trading session. So that is one stock which can be kept under the radar. And I'm expecting this is stock it means immediately if we say it, I'm expecting target of 2650, but slightly put in perspective, it is moving toward 2740 to 2760 also. So we can see some 8 to 9% move in Nestle from these levels. Other stocks, if we see Hindustan Unilever or ITC, they are also looking bullish. But if we see outperformance side, I'm expecting that Nestle to outperform these counters, at least in from short-term perspective.
Okay, got it. So that's the view that is coming in. Let's look at the stocks which are also not participating in the markets today. Most of the stocks on the Nifty are actually higher. We're now at 25,572. About 5 stocks are not participating in this rally. ONGC is down by 1%. HCL Technologies is not participating in the IT strong move or recovery that's coming in. It's down 1%. BPCL is down 0.7%. Bajaj Finserv is flattish with a negative bias, and so is Dr. Reddy's. Let's talk about some of these stocks right there. Oil and gas is first that we will talk about. ONGC and BPCL. These have been one of the top stock ideas that most of the technical experts have had in their preference lists when the entire oil and gas story had been unfolding over the last few months. BPCL has been among the preferred in the downstream companies. ONGC has been among the preferred in the upstream companies. Now what after the recent run up? Let's also show viewers to you the long term charts, 1 month, 3 month charts of ONGC and BPCL. Let's see how the rally has unfolded, and then last 6 months also that we can pull up. So last 3 months it's a 6% move, and then there is a slide on ONGC. Let's also pull up BPCL right there to see how the move has come in. Last 6 months it's been an 8% move for ONGC, and BPCL you have of course that is not right because you actually had the price changes right there coming in. So 44% down is not something that you should be really looking at. The stock has been on the move. Your own sense, Aditya, how should one be looking at the top performer of the upstream and top performer of the downstream companies?
I'm not expecting a big correction, but yes, it can move towards 270 to 265 levels. We can see some 10 to 15 rupees correction from these levels. But if it comes down those levels, that's a good level to enter into long position. So not a big correction from these levels, but yes, wait for some dip to enter into long position. Structure-wise, stock structure is quite positive, but after a big rally, we are seeing some time-wise and price-wise correction. Similarly, we see BPCL means again this stock broke its resistance zone of 320, 325. From those levels, we saw 10% rally. So again, this stock is coming in a buy zone. If it comes down 325, 320, it's again a good candidate to enter into long position. So both these stocks, if we see a short-term perspective, they are slightly in a range with little bit of negative bias. But if we see a little bit of positional view, they are looks positive, and any correction and then further correction 3 to 4% can be used as a buying opportunity.
Okay. I think it's also the rate sensitives that are now moving sharply higher. Look at autos, look at consumer durables, look at banks, and look at realty. All the rate sensitive sectors are actually buzzing. It's a double century on the Nifty. Now you see 25,583 viewers. We are inching towards newer highs as well. We have hit a 25,587. Let's see if we further, yes, we moved up further as well. 25,600 for you. 223 points higher on the Nifty. That's another milestone that you have, 25,600 now. We've crossed not just 25,500 for the first time in trade today, viewers. We've also crossed 25,600. 220 points higher in trade, and a very sharp move coming in. Let's actually look at what are the key index contributors right now. That will be an interesting thing to see. Which are the stocks that are contributing maximum? HDFC Bank, ladies and gentlemen, is contributing 35 points higher on the Nifty, and that's pulled up the Nifty to this all-time high newer level. Infosys is contributing 20.1 points. You have NTPC that's contributing over 16.5 points. ICICI Bank that's contributing 14 points. Reliance Industries that's contributing 13 points. So these are the top 5 contributors in terms of weightage and points that these stocks on the Nifty are contributing to the markets right now. Aditya, coming back to you, 25,600 now with us on the Nifty. What do you foresee?
It means we are expecting Nifty to go towards 25,680, 25,700. But means on positive side, if we see today is expiry day, so a lot of call lighting was there 25,500. If Nifty continues to trade above 25,500 for another 15-20 minutes, then we can see another round of short covering as all those call lighters are trapped in the market now. So they can take Nifty towards 25,680, 25,700 levels in today's session also only. So means we need to keep this levels closely keep a watch on this level. If Nifty continues to trade about 25,500 for next couple of minutes, or means 15-20 minutes, then we can see another round of short covering. So structure is positive. Nifty is moving towards 25,700 in next couple of days, 1 or 2 days.
Okay, got it. All right. There's a sharp 740 points uptick on the Sensex. Both the Sensex and the Nifty are at fresh highs, viewers. And we are looking at even the Sensex at 83,693 right now. And the Nifty is soaring in front of you right there too. Let's also look at what else is buzzing. IT is 1% higher, top contributing sector. Autos about a percent higher again. Bajaj Auto is zooming further, 11,940. Remember, there's a big brokerage report that's come in with 14,000 targets now. Balkrishna Industries, after a long haul, is moving. Hero Moto, Apollo Tires, Eicher Motors. This is all the auto and the auto ancillary stocks combined together that are on the buzz. PSU stocks, we are actually seeing it's come off the day's high. It's now just about a 0.25% up for the PSU index. And the PSE index, that is NTPC, Power Grid, Concord, Coal India, LIC and NMDC. Those are the loan movers in the green among the PSU big bang movers. Oil and gas has slipped into the red, about a 0.25% odd or so. Media stocks have also slipped into the red now. But Titan is buzzing. Titan has come back into flavor, 1.5% higher, 3781. Let's get Aditya to talk about the entire gems and the jewelry space. Even in the international market, Aditya, after this rate cut happened, we've seen the gold prices soaring to all-time highs, crossing $2,600 an ounce as well. It came off after that, but we are looking at even gold prices surging like how. You look at the gems and the jewelry space, how they have moved in the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. And, all of these stocks, Senco, TBZ, Kalyan Jewelers, Titan, they've all been in thick flavor. And even in the gold financing space, Muthoot and Manappuram Finance. Aditya, how would you really look at this?
If we see as a commodity, we are bullish on gold. Yes, gold has seen a big rally, so minor profit booking may come. But if it comes in the zone of 25.50, 25.40, gold is a good level to enter in dollar terms. On higher side, we're expecting that it is moving towards 26.60 to 27.20 level. So that will definitely benefit most of the jewelry companies. And we have already seen a big move in all the jewelry companies in last couple of weeks. Means if we see PC Jewelers stock moved from 40 levels to 140. Similarly, we see Titan also stock has seen a big move in last couple of days. After consolidating, we have seen a big move. Again, means I'm expecting that it is moving towards its previous highs of 3,900, 3,920. So we are still bullish on this sector. But yes, now we have to be stock specific as most of the counters have already seen a big rally. So I would like to go with Titan from large cap counters. I'm expecting it is moving toward 3,900, 3,920 level. So we can see some 4 to 5% kind of upside move in Titan from current levels.
Okay, got it. So that's the view that's coming in. All right. We have just the last few minutes or before we wind up the show, viewers, for you in the morning edition. But it's turned out to be a fine morning. 25,600 with us. We were only expecting 25,500. We've got additional 100 points and 25,600 is with us. And Aditya right here really believes that this rally could continue further for some more time as well. Sharp move across the space. IT, banks clearly are the heavyweight counters that are participating, private banks particularly. Between ICICI and HDFC, let me put you in a spot, Aditya. How would you really look at the best moves that can now come in, and where should investors be keeping their focus? The entire private sector bank space is up in the, ante. How would you really look at it?
We are bullish on whole banking space, but if I have to choose from ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, from these levels, I would like to go with HDFC Bank. Means after big consolidation, now in last 2 days, we have seen a positive traction in HDFC Bank. Stock has given a breakout of 1660, 1670 levels. I'm expecting it is moving towards 1770, 1780. So in terms of outperformance, I'm expecting HDFC Bank to outperform ICICI Bank, at least from the short-term perspective, as after big consolidation, we are seeing a positive move.
All right. Okay. It's time to now wind up the edition, viewers. Thanks a lot, Aditya, for being with us on this special edition to share with us all your thoughts and ideas. Congratulations to all our viewers who've been believing in the stock market's journey, and you actually get to celebrate the markets at higher levels now. 25,600 for the first time is what we have seen on the Nifty today. 214 points higher right now as well. Across the board, there is buoyancy. Realty, autos, banks, banks, IT, these are the spaces that are actually hogging all the limelight right now. Out of the Nifty 50 stocks, 46 stocks are into the green. Among the sectors barring oil and gas and media, all of the sectors are up into the green as well. There is a sharp move across the broader markets as well. We are seeing many stocks buzzing in single and double digits as well. We'll continue to track more moves in the markets for you throughout the course of the day. So stay tuned with us on Business Today Television, as this is the place to be when you get to know what exactly is going to be happening in the markets, the right strategies from the top market experts all through the day for you. So stay with us on Business Today Television. Let's get Gaurang to also address the FMCG space as a whole. We are seeing a whole host of stocks climb up in the Nifty right now. Britannia, ITC, Nestle, all of them are abuzz with some gains coming in. Right ahead of the festive season, the consumption space is going to be in thick limelight. Gaurang, is FMCG going to be the better better place where one should be looking at increasing positions?
My thought process is possibly yes, Sakshi, and